Good morning. It is Saturday the 30th of June 2018. We're here in the United Kingdom in Coventry in the West Midlands of England. The West Midlands, of course, are the home of Jaguar. One of Jaguar's new facilities, which opened at a cost of £7 million 12 months ago, is here at a place called Ryden in the Coventry area. This is their classic restoration workshop and display area, and currently there is an open day on for those coming to the big the big Jaguar show at Vauxhall Hall nearby tomorrow. So many people with Jaguars who are attending this classic vehicles have turned up in order to take part in the open day. This centre is state-of-the-art facility. They have 500 both Jaguars and Land Rovers on site, 300 of which are Jaguar Land Rover's own collection of Jaguars and Land Rovers, and the remaining 160 or so are customers' cars from all over the world in various states of restoration. Unfortunately, we're only allowed to video and to photograph the vehicles in the foyer display area as a matter of company policy. However, we're currently going around the car park looking at all the visitors who are coming for their complimentary tours on this open day. And they've all arrived in a whole variety of fascinating and lovely Jaguars. Many E-types, the beautiful XJs, who are of course celebrating their 50th anniversary this year, and indeed the special event tomorrow. XA8s, XJKs, and modern XJ, and indeed 10 vintage British Rileys which have turned up as part of a Riley Association visit. But one of the most interesting cars here is by far the newest. It is the new Jaguar I-Pace, which is the electric SUV that's only just out. Here we have one which has come from a part of the United Kingdom called Thames Valley around Oxfordshire, looking at its registration. It's brand new. It looks like it left the factory yesterday. It's in the immaculate red colour, and you may notice some slight shape differences to the slightly older E-Pace and F-Pace SUVs. This is very much the Jaguar of the future and should sell well all across the world. It's a glorious sunny day in the UK. We're enjoying a very rare heat wave, and the Jaguar is all resplendent in the sunshine here in the West Midlands of England. So we're going to have a little look inside the foyer display area, which contains all sorts of wonders, including 2 Jaguar XJ220s. I understand there are 3 more inside the workshop being worked on, 5 out of a total of maybe 300 surviving in the world. Not bad. But as I say, we can only look at the foyer area because of Jaguar policy. This is a fabulous place. Early series XJ, Peter.
It's the new I-Pace alongside a very old XJ6. It's a Daimler model from 1971, outside the Coventry home of Jag.
We do videos on YouTube of Jaguars.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning to you. I've noticed you bought an early
Yesterday.
Yes. You come to the event tomorrow in Vauxhall Hall?
Yes.
The anniversary of Jaguar.
Right.
It's a birthday.
Oh, right, indeed, 50. Yes, I remember when I was 50 myself many years ago. This is a beautiful car. Obviously, I don't understand Dutch registration. How old is your vehicle?
She's from 72. Well, it's actually my vehicle.
Oh, it's
I'm
your vehicle.
sorry,
I
yes.
apologise.
She's
for
driving it then.
For my
I don't.
sexist remark.
No, it's not. No, she's from 72.
72.
Yes, 26 May.
And she spent her entire life in the Netherlands?
Yes, it's an original Dutch car.
Okay. Do I mind if I call her she? She's definitely a lady?
It's definitely a lady.
Oh, you see, I knew that.
She's called Penelope.
She has a name. She's
Yes,
called
she has a
Hello,
name,
Penelope.
actually.
It's very nice to meet you. You're in immaculate condition. I'd say comfort condition. What sort of mileage or kilometerage should I say has she done?
Well, she's now at 37,000.
Kilometres?
Yes, but it's only 5 digits, so
Has it been round the clock a few
Yes.
times?
I assume.
How long have you owned Penelope for?
I've opened Penelope now for 3 years.
For 3 years?
Yes, and before that she was 30 years in the same family, from father to son.
Oh, so they have entrusted a precious possession to you.
Yes, and I'm in a position just to look after her for the next generation. So I'm very proud.
You're merely the custodian.
Yes.
I
yes.
understand. I understand.
So I just have to look after her so she can grow old and enjoy
Oh,
pension.
she's immaculate. I'm sure she'll score highly tomorrow in the lineup. Are Jaguars popular in the Netherlands?
Well, I think so. We do have a Jaguar club in Holland as well, and we have over 2,000 members. So you can say
brilliant.
it's for a small country that it's.
Well, these were very much an English gentleman's car, maybe also now a Dutch lady.
Times change.
Times changed since 1972.
So yeah, that's true.
It's been a delightful meeting you here. I'll explain, you can take photographs in the foyer area,
Yes.
but not on the factory floor.
Yeah.
Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And
Okay.
thank you for this welcome. It's really a pleasure being in England again.
Indeed.
Especially.
We're a friendly bunch. Outside. inside the foyer of the Jaguar Classic Restoration Centre in Coventry in the West Midlands of England. And we're looking at the one car in the foyer display area that doesn't actually look like it belongs. But we've been told the backstory. This was a 1950s, this vehicle, amazingly, was a 1950s Jaguar XK120 involved in a terrible accident, we believe in France, in 1957. The vehicle being then owned, we understand, by the head of the chair of the French Jaguar Owners Association. The vehicle, eventually, it was decided, should be rebodied at that time by the famous Italian coach builder Michelotti, and so it was. It now finds itself in the Jaguar Restoration Centre, awaiting restoration. However, the vehicle is, when fully restored, will be auctioned by the international auctioneers Bonhams, and they're currently showing a guide price when it comes to auction of around 315,000 GB pounds. So a little outside my price bracket. One of a kind, absolutely unique, and very interesting. Hello again. So still in the foyer. In the foyer there are two amazing Jaguar XJ220s. If my memory serves me right, there's only about 300 of them produced. And I understand there are at least 5 here today. This one is in silver, it's immaculate. There's also a black one further along in the foyer. And I understand in the restoration workshop in an XJ220 area, which unfortunately cameras and videos are not allowed access. There are, in fact, 3 others, 2 black and 1 silver, also undergoing restoration. This is a beautiful car, one of the most classic supercars of its era, and certainly the most powerful of the big cats. So, cars are brought here by owners from all over the world for extensive renovation and restoration. And here's an example of a car straight in. It's a left-hand drive E-Type in black. It's an early one, note with closed headlights, and obviously left-hand drive, probably from the United States. A few bumps and dents and other things. I'm sure, having gone through the Restoration Centre's extensive programme right down to bare metal, it will come out gleaming and immaculate. And we're told that cars which have come through their many months of rebuild at the end retail for something around 375,000 UK pounds, which obviously is a lot of money. This car appears to have been here since before Christmas 2017, and waiting its turn in the workshop. It's been put in the display area purely to show a before E-Type. So we have here in British Racing Green what appears to be an old Jaguar XKSS. The Jaguar XKSS evolved in the 1950s when a number of spare D-types left over from racing, I believe 10, were converted into street legal cars and sold basically to wealthy top-end individuals. We're told at that time the late Steve McQueen owned one which he referred to as his green rat. However, this isn't one of them. Just a very short time ago, Jaguar, a few years ago, decided to produce a small number of one-off cars. I hesitate to use the word replicas because they're not. They're a rebuild of the Jaguar XKSS, and to sell them to selected, nominated collectors around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, yours for £1 million. And so the famous E-Type in British Racing Green. This one dates from around about 72, 73. It is in fact a drop head, a convertible, beautiful car. It sits here in the foyer in Coventry, England, as a superb representative of its genre. And I must admit, I wish I could afford one. Very nice.
Okay.
And so we have a silver XK8 also in the reception area. It's from 1999. We're told it's for sale now, starting at £25,000. It's immaculate, it's gorgeous, and certainly a delight on anyone's driveway. It is short and simple. Oh, this lovely white XK, I believe is a 120, note the narrow grille, here in display at Coventry. Beautiful 1940s lines on the side, although this car may be very, very early 1950s. Absolutely immaculate. Looks like it just came off the production line, though obviously it didn't. And certainly a real collector's car. Another supercar Jaguar XJ220, this time in black, absolutely immaculate. And as I've already mentioned, there are at least 5 of these here, 2 in the foyer display and 3 in the XJ220 servicing area. This is really, I would consider the original supercar, and certainly something that very few production road cars could ever catch. And alongside it we have an early Daimler coupe. This is a coupe version of the basic Jaguar XJ body shell. Fairly early one, I'd say in the 1970s. White, it's immaculate, and it would have been the pride of its owner, which we imagine to be a professional English barrister or managing director, the sort of person that would have bought these cars new. Let's find out a little about it. So this vehicle was manufactured in 1976. It's got 4.2 engine, it's automatic. The colour is called Old English White, and the Jaguar Restoration Centre would sell it to me today, £50,000, 50,000 British pounds, and absolutely immaculate. I'm sure if I was to buy it, it would win classic car shows all over the country, and certainly a treat for anyone.
Sadly, I can't take the camera in, so I've got to go and take the camera back to the car, but
As we're taking the camera back to the car because of the strict rules against photography within the restoration centre itself, we noticed that our one brand new electric Jaguar I-Pace has suddenly become 2. So we have 2 identical, beautiful I-Paces parked side by side here outside the Jaguar Restoration Centre in Coventry in the West Midlands of the United Kingdom. They're absolutely gorgeous. They are Jaguar's latest gift to the world. These are going to sell, I guess, like hotcakes across the UK, Europe, Japan and the States. I can hardly wait. didn't go around. I just wanted
Have you been round the show? Round the... have you been inside?
Yes, no, very.
What do you think of that?
Staggered by the collection. The only thing is, I couldn't find another one of those in there. It must have been tucked away up on the lifts somewhere. There was a 140 fixed head, and there was a 140 roadster, but I couldn't see a drop in.
And this is yours?
Yeah.
Could you tell us something about it?
I've only owned the car for 2 years.
Right.
But it was built 1955,
Yeah.
taken off the road in 1967, I believe, when it failed the MOT,
Right.
and then was put into storage in a very wet garage in Wimbledon,
So it rotted
in
away.
South London. It rotted away. 1989, a gentleman who was in the oil industry up in Scotland bought the car.
Right.
How he found out about it, I don't know. But I've got photos of it going on the transporter up to
Yeah.
Scotland. And he didn't have time to work on it at that stage. So when he bought it in 1989, he put it then into storage
Right.
as it was, and it stayed there until 2001, when he finally got round to getting the company Classic Restorations at Perth in Scotland
So it's been
to do the
professionally
work for him.
done.
So it has been then professionally done. When the restoration started, it was white with a red interior.
Okay.
Although as it is now, British Racing Green with biscuit interior is the original,
That's how it was.
how it was originally, and that's what's on the heritage certificate.
Right.
Restoration took 5 years, didn't finish it until 2006. Apparently there was a 2.5 year delay because they wanted some of the wings and body panels made. And even back then, the company that was making it had to give them a letter explaining that because of the lack of skilled craftsmen
Right.
at that time, it took almost 3 years for them to get round to make all the panels that were required for it.
Beautiful.
But-
So I guess
so it was a full body off restoration, chassis, body, interior retrimmed, all the woodwork redone, engine rebuilt, gearbox. And until I bought it 2 years ago, it had only done 4,000 miles in 10 years since it had been the restoration had been completed.
I like the number plate. So I guess this is a 140, is
It
it?
is a 140 drop head. I'm saying that
What
is
year is it?
the original 1955, and that is the original number plate.
You ever have a look inside?
Certainly.
Been very nicely restored, hasn't it? Okay.
And the car has been entered into the timeline parade at Vauxhall.
So it's tomorrow, that, in the
Yes.
timeline? Right, well we'll see you later because we're going to the show tomorrow. We'll come and find you.
Yeah, the trip up today was just purely to come and see the Classic Works here.
Yeah. You live locally?
No, I've come up from Cornwall.
Right.
with the car.
You've driven it up? Have you driven it?
Yeah, yes. And the car is now, I live in Penzance, and the car in 1964 was in St Ives. So even though it's had that trip all the way to Scotland for restoration via London and everything, it's now just 10 miles away from where it was almost 60 years ago.
Fantastic. Can we have a look inside, under the bonnet?
Yeah.
Original XK engine.
It is, yes.
Did you go to Chesley Walsh?
Yes, I was there 2 weeks ago with an E-Type fixed head.
All right, you didn't take this one.
It was having a little bit of work done. They didn't complete it in time. Otherwise, I would have taken that up there as well.
Right. And was your E-Type in the line with the other? There's 27 E-Types up there.
I didn't go up the...
In the field.
I went to the drive... Yeah, we're parked up in the field.
Yeah.
But I did the driving school on the Thursday,
Right.
which was seriously good fun. And I did that with the E-Type.
And you went up the hill climb then?
Yes, we did 12 runs up here.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I might have got you on video because I was there.
No, on the Thursday.
Oh no, I did
it was
Sunday.
actually the driving school.
All right. So, well, thank you very much.
No,
for
you're welcome.
Showing us your lovely XK 140 outside this classic
It is
Jaguar Classic restoration.
Facility inside, well worth the tour.
It's brilliant, and we'll see you at the show tomorrow.
Okay, look forward to it.
Thank you.